Wiseman played only 39 games his rookie season after being drafted number 2 overall in 2020. He missed all of last year with the Golden State Warriors, but did play in 3 G League games with the Santa Cruz Warriors in March before shutting it down. So back here with Chiney Ogwumike, it was a big night, Chiney, from Wiseman. We were watching his highlights in the makeup room. I love watching you talk about post players. So how did the big man get it done last night?
Big man was balling, and we love the saying patience is a virtue because it takes a lot of patience to be able to see what his talents are, but we finally got the fruition of that. So James Wiseman, check out these plays. Let's start with defense. Defensively, he was active. He was in the paint, going after the balls, contesting shots, blocking, staying present. The ball goes out. He does not rest on defense from the help side. Stays active on the ball, hands up. That's a good defensive play. I know it's preseason. People say, oh, you don't play defense, but hey, he was, and I like that. But let's go to the offense. I mean, you just want to see him Debo people. And he did exactly that.
Bully ball.
Get the ball in a mismatch. Again, James Wiseman, 8 for 11 from the field, and those numbers are going to stay in that category of like 60 to 70, potentially 80%, because when you're coming downhill in a pick and roll with Steph Curry, you're going to get good looks. But this was it. This was it for me, the mid-range. It's the mid-range, when you're pick and rolling, when you're making layups, when you're getting rebounds. Those are things expected for post players. But when you're hitting that mid-range, that's the best aspect of the growth, that patience, that during that process, that was revealed. And so I know it's a small sample size, but we like what we see. I know.
Well, as our friend Zach Lowe, who is joining us now, might say, pump the brakes. That's what he usually tells us, because it is. It's only preseason. So, Zach, are we all going too far here? What would it mean to add a player with Wiseman's stature to this Warriors team from what we've seen?
I'm not pumping the brakes. I can't even find the
Gas
brakes.
pedal.
The Warriors have never had, have rarely had a vertical spacing threat like Wiseman. They've rarely had a vertical guy who can go up and dunk it. JaVale McGee a little bit, but if he can bring that dimension, you saw how easy life was for Steph on the pick and roll, for Draymond just tossing the ball up. It's a great fit. And look, this is why I think people are not sleeping on the Warriors, but I think they should be even better this year than they were last year. This is Klay's second year after those injuries. He should be on more stable ground. All the young guys, Poole, Kuminga, Moody, and now Wiseman, should be ready to get real minutes. And at the very least, if Wiseman is part of their rotation and he's effective, that's fewer minutes you got to play Draymond Green at center in the regular season so you don't get him too banged up before the games really matter. People should be really, really scared about the Warriors, and I think Wiseman's going to get a chance to have a real role there and do something that really they haven't had before. That's that verticality. That could be huge for them.
Well, so Chiney was off camera when you said the Warriors could be even scarier this year than they were last year. Can you please just show everybody at home what that face was? It was a little
I was like, oh, wow. But it's the truth. They should be better. If they're available and they add that person in the front court that can actually anchor things down on both ends, they should be better. But I will say this, Zach. A lot of other teams are better as well in the West. You think about the Mavs coming. You think about the Clippers this year. You think about the Nuggets adding key pieces back.
Dark side.
I think a lot. The dark side. The dark side. Memphis, the greatest. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, the West is going to be interesting, but I know you all remember this. We asked this question before the Warriors won the title last year, and I'd like to revisit it this year. So starting with you here, Chiney, who is the most important Warrior? Is it Klay, Steph, Dre, or somebody else?
This one's really hard for me because I thought it was going to be Jordan Poole because you want to have that insurance policy, whether Klay plays or not, if Steph needs to take some time. But to me, the answer is who we just saw. It's James Wiseman. Just because, like Zach said, they have not had a consistent option at the center position that is young, that can really progress. Draymond Green has been holding it down for years. And let me tell you something, he's probably starting to feel it now. We're in the same class range. We were both friends coming out of college. And so, the body's a little different, but his IQ is there. But to have someone relieve him, get rebounds, not have to be that constant pressure in the paint, at the rim. Now you have someone like Wiseman. I think that he's going to be crucial for them to get them games and also get them balanced offense and defense.
Well, the producers room right here saying, let's make it even tougher, making sure it is not Steph, Klay, or Dre. And so I like it. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, if you set aside the big three, my answer today is the same as it was before the playoffs last season, before the finals last season. And it's Andrew Wiggins, who has a defensive on the wing presence that really they don't quite have now that Klay Thompson's not quite all the way back to where he was. We saw how important he can be during the finals. And I think, again, this season, another full season under his belt playing with Steph and Draymond on offense, understanding how to cut, get his way into open threes, play off those two basketball geniuses, I think he's set to have another really good season for the Warriors. And to me, look, it's a boring answer. Everyone wants to name the sexy young players, the guys who are so intriguing. It's Wiggins. We saw in the finals. It's Andrew Wiggins. If he plays like he did in the playoffs last year and in the finals, they're really hard to beat.
Well, and historically, when you look at who is able to win it all, there's always that X factor. Who was the person who stand up? When you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, Bobby just came out of nowhere. Bobby Portis. Exactly. And then all of a sudden, that following was born. When you look at what the Warriors were able to do, the Lakers, Anthony Davis was playing out of his mind.
Yep.
There's always that.
CP had a good run, too.
Exactly. The X factor. And for the Warriors, it was James Wiseman. And when he played well, look where they ended up.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.